Hello guys, it's Kevin, State & Co Truck Insurance, and in today's video we'll talk about 3 worst truck insurance companies that the truckers could sign up with, and hopefully you don't make that mistake and don't do business with those insurance companies because like I said in this video, I'll just talk about the reasons why you shouldn't be signing up with some of the truck insurance companies. So number 3 on the list would be risk retention group truck insurance companies, RRG. If you see that term or you hear agent using that terminology, risk retention group, just look the other way. What it is, those insurance companies don't even have AM Best insurance rating. They're not rated, so they're not even A, B, or C rated. They just don't have the rating, period. And they will insure you. They'll issue federal filings, $1 million policy, cargo, physical damage, trailer interchange, all of that, but they are not rated. And what's going to happen once you try to book that load and the broker asks you to send the certificate, and the minute they'll see that RRG on a certificate, and then it takes them 10 seconds to just Google that company and look for the rating, they will realize that yes, this is a risk retention group company, so you will be most likely, denied that load, and they'll tell you go and find different insurance company. And a lot of those companies come up with, there's probably dozens and dozens in the industry. County Hall Risk Retention Group is one that just kind of like I've seen recently, but there's some other names that come around, and some of them come and go. They merge and then they change their names. But again, if you're talking to your agent and broker, and if that agent is at least semi-decent and understands what they're doing, they should be advising you and telling you, hey, this might be a cheaper policy, but this is a risk retention group. Another example would be OOIDA, OOIDA, that's the Owner Operators Independent Association. And if you're a member of their cooperative, you actually get the insurance through OOIDA, but they do not have a rating. They are what is called that risk retention group. And again, some brokers, occasionally they will be fine with RRG insurance companies like OOIDA probably, because I've seen some of those policies, and those truckers are telling us, well, I've been with OOIDA for many years and had no issues because I only deliver for 1 or 2 brokers, and those brokers are familiar with this insurance company and they're comfortable, so they're allowing me to run the loads. But majority of the broker population, if they see that RRG, they'll just simply tell you no and come back when you have A-rated insurance company. Number 2, so we just talked about the ratings and how important is that. Most of the brokers require that the insurance companies that the carriers sign up with are at least A-rated. And what those ratings indicate, they're just basically tell about the financial health and stability of the insurance company. So A and A minus, A plus, A plus plus, that just simply means it's a financially stronger insurance company. So the chances of this insurance company going out of business are slim, versus if it's a B or even C rated. If you see a C rated, that's pretty much already heading for the bankruptcy court. And again, you might be able to find some cheap policies with those B and C rated insurance companies. Just had one couple of years ago where insured was very unhappy with the renewal pricing, and it was a big national company. I think at that time we quoted them with Northland Insurance and Progressive. Both are A-rated, big companies. And insured wanted something cheaper, and they were just shopping like crazy. And then they came back and said, hey, you know what, guys, we found cheaper. We're going with, I think it was American Millennium. I looked up their rating, and because we never worked with American Millennium, and it was like, I think B minus. So we advised them that, hey, our recommendation is, although, you're saving a few $1,000s, but do not go with them. But I guess the other agent was overly eagerly aggressive because the other agent was telling the insured that, oh yeah, you actually, you know, most brokers actually will accept them. You might find, you know, like one or two that will say no. And what happened, 2 weeks later, that same insured was calling us back and trying to come back because apparently out of 10 brokers that they talked to, 9 were denying this insurance company because they were just like, hey, this is a B minus. We cannot work with them. We will not accept you. You cannot deliver any loads for us. So they had to cancel the other policy. Actually, before they canceled the other policy, they had to sign up and pay the down payment for the new policy, because you cannot cancel the policy that has filings already unless you already have a new policy and the federal filings are issued. So they had to pay the down payment and then go back to that, you know, old insurance company and that agent and say, hey, we're, you know, leaving you. And you know, that other policy was eventually canceled, but it took them like 4 weeks to get the down payment back. And then I think they had 25% minimum earned premium requirement, which means the insurance company had the right to keep 25% of the total annual premium. So it ended up costing them, you know, thousands of dollars, but you know, at least they were able to operate and run their business with A-rated insurance company. So no matter how cheap it is, do not ever, under any circumstances, sign with a B or C rated insurance company. Again, unless you have one broker that says, I don't care, as long as you have insurance, you're good to go. But then again, just be mindful that, you know, the lower the rating, the higher the chances are that this company might go out of business. They will probably won't be paying your claims, and you know, that's just gonna create more issues down the road. And number one, the worst truck insurance company to be with is the one that doesn't pay claims, or dragging their feet, or not paying claims as much as you were expecting. It's hard to pinpoint one or a couple names in the market, because typically those are A-rated insurance companies, and a lot of times they're like A minus. But the rule of thumb is that, you know, from what we've seen is those are newer insurance companies that get into trucking business within like a year or last 2 years. You know, they're capitalized by private equity or venture capital. You know, they don't have the history of you know, claims and past performance, so their balance sheet is kind of clean, and the insurance commissions, you know, they get appointed and they can do business in the state, and AM Best issues A minus rating because, again, there's no historical losses or claims, so they kind of look good on paper and they pass that A-rated insurance company requirement. But what happens when they usually get very aggressive because they want to get into this business, they want to grow their books, so they're cut prices, they're kind of sometimes are flexible on underwriting requirements. They will accept, you know, drivers with less than 2 years CDL, or drivers with, you know, bad driving record. And as they continue, you know, 12, 18 months, once those losses start piling up, because believe me, in the trucking business, the insurance companies are usually, they're losing 90 cents on the dollar, maybe even more depending on the company. So it's very hard to make money for the insurance company in this business. So what happens, those companies, then they start kind of like goofing around when it comes to claims. It might take, you know, days and in some cases weeks to get a response. In some cases, those settlements and the dollar amounts that are promised, you're going to get paid, you know, instead of 8,000, it's going to be 4,000. And the way you learn about those companies is just, you know, listen to your agent, talk to the other truckers, just Google those companies. I had one recently where I was something blue, clear blue, forgot the name, but anyway, you know, our insured left, been with us 2 years, and they said, well, Kevin, we found this much cheaper insurance company. They are A-rated. And then I Googled this company. They had over 50 negative reviews on Google, and every single one of them was talking how horrible is the claim experience, where they're not getting a call back. I mean, they're actually people submitting claims, and for 3 weeks, there's like nothing. And if you're a trucker, and you have to wait for months and months for a claim adjuster to follow up with you, and your truck is not running and you're not making money, you're going to be, out of business before you know. So it is important to, be with the insurance company that's reputable, that's known in the market. If you're signing up with Northland, National Casualty, Berkshire, Progressive, National General, AIG, those are big companies. They've been in this business. They understand trucking. They manage their risks by, having their underwriting requirements. But that's where, when it comes to paying the claims, they do it in time. They'll take care of you. Again, even with the big ones, you might have occasionally where there isn't a disagreement or this cargo claim dispute because, it's the either brokers, shippers, or carriers' fault. But in general, bigger, well-known companies will take good care of you versus of those kind of smaller, newer entrants where they'll just be kind of wishy-washy about when it comes to paying claims. And claims part is important because, like I said, if you're not running and just waiting for a claim to be settled, you're going to be out of money. And that's all I have for today. And please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time. Bye.